Isn't that nostalgic? For the two people that had a Sega Saturn, you gotta reset the whole thing in order to get to the other games on the compilation. I guess menus hadn't been invented yet. It was a simpler time. But yeah, I guess it would have been like an extra $1.75 to program in some menus to swap between the games. And hey, you think we're just made out of money over here? Print on both sides of the paper. I'm not made out of fucking money. So here we've got columns 2, the voyage through time. Do you like how the countdown timer behaves like an analog object and it's not just digital and just directly from one number to another? That was probably where half the budget went, because I don't think I've ever seen another game do that. You can tell it's gonna be a good episode when that's the type of stuff that I'm commenting on. But anyway, yeah, this one has a time travel theme. See, everybody was just a lowly protozoa, but now we're in the future. Just like the title said, it's the voyage through space and time. But was that supposed to be Carl Sagan or Xavier Renegade Angel? That's the fun, I don't even know. Ever see that Xavier Renegade Angel where he needs a ghost costume and so he hides himself underneath the fabric of time? Yeah, funny stuff. I wish I could write funny stuff like that. You'd probably get much better videos if I could. So the goal here is just to remove the one that's flashing and then the level ends. Very Japanese. If you stand out from the crowd in any way, someone will make it their goal to remove you. Loud enough for you? I guess they figured, with this oh-so-exciting gameplay, they had to blast an air horn in your ear every couple of minutes so you don't fall asleep. They should have just straight up put a screamer in it instead. Bonus round, hold on to your fucking hats, everybody. Yeah, how do you like that? Unc still got it. And then, after the future, what comes next but the far future where human progress has been erased and everybody turned into seashells? That was always something of a recurring motif in Futurama, is that even though time is passing, human progress isn't always linear. Human progress tends to ebb and flow sometimes. But that's not the idea they're trying to present here. Rather, it's just the eras of time travel are randomized. We've gone back to the past. Yeah, okay, there goes all the seashells. Seashells by the seashore for us. And this one's just like a lazy copy and paste of the original columns. They just kind of half-assed this level, I must say. So as you might have surmised, you don't want to get a combo near the skull, by the way, of matching color, because the consequences will be utterly dire. It'll brick your console. Sega was so ashamed of the Saturn that they retroactively tried to pull it back behind a hidden kill switch, in an innocuous place no one would ever think to look. Boy, we're just getting farther and farther away from our goal, aren't we? But yeah, it doesn't actually do any of the stuff that I said. It just does that. It just pushes it up. Just like Flintstones push-up ice cream. Did you guys ever have Flintstones push-up ice cream 20 years ago? Where did that idea even originate from? Flintstones push-up ice cream? So did I mention that my channel's been shadow banned, by the way? So I guess my videos won't be in circulation anymore, but it's you can't lose what you never had to begin with. Can't lose what you never had to begin with, Jerry. But yeah, so make sure you got your notifications turned on. They didn't say specifically what the problem is, but I'm about 50% sure I know what the problem is. I think what caused all of this was in part 2 of Castle Shikigami. I had that FPV drone footage, just that image from the drone footage, and I guess in retrospect that was like a still from real footage of a real person getting blown up. I think that might fall under what's considered a violent content or what have you. So yeah, I would definitely understand why they would react to that negatively. I'm not gonna try to fight this necessarily because, well, I don't think I would win. I think their decision to do this is completely fair, to be honest. It's like, what am I gonna have a human come in here and manually review this to prove that there's not a problem? That's not gonna work. But anyway, you just want to hear about columns. Y'all don't want to hear me, you just want to dance. So, starting at 5 certainly makes them go a lot faster in this one, I must say. I think the key to doing this sustainably is to get those diagonals when you can. Yeah. So, out of the 4 games in this compilation, this is the only one that made it stateside. The rest were Japan exclusive. And speaking of Japan, you know, with my fancy movies and such, the latest one I saw was Sans Soleil, which is about a guy who traveled the world, and it's just a compilation of interesting things that he filmed. And even then, that description was a bit misleading because it was about 80% Japan, I want to say. But that's still interesting in its own right. I guess there's just lots of interesting things you can film over there, and that's why it took up so much space. At one point, he went to a panda's funeral. Imagine that. Not a particularly happy occasion, but still there's some anthropology to be learned. Gosh, just all the different rituals that he observed and the cultural traditions. It's like, man, there are just so many unwritten rules to living here. It's like my autistic ass could never. They would have me tarred and feathered. They would have me run out of town on a rail. And they could very easily do that because public transportation is pretty ubiquitous over there. Rails are readily available for running people like me out of town. So yeah, I guess Sans Soleil was pretty good, but the poetry gets to be a bit much just because it's so heavy and it comes at you so fast there isn't always time to digest what's being said. But I guess that makes it good for rewatches is the thing. Anyway, just this strange journey that I've been on the past year and a half of discovering art house films that your average person typically would not know. It seems like I keep thinking, okay, I've reached bedrock, it can't get any weirder. And then it does. That's what amazes me is there's just no end to the rabbit hole. It just keeps getting weirder. You never run out of odd things to discover. I'm gonna put in a clip of something I found recently. Give me just a second here.
What do you hear when the wind whistles near? Do you hear what I hear? Or are the sounds unclear? Dear friends, I shape round or flat. Dear friends, it's merely a choice between this